the moderate path. Is there anything better to hope than to have nothing to hope? Let us imagine this perfect moment when we no longer expect anything. This specific moment when, except the sphere of wisdom, we do no longer have anything to do, where we are really ready for a one-way ticket to a stage of retreat. Our only feeling being the one to have achieved everything, to have cultivated a feeling of definitive disinterestedness towards all the unprofitable things with which the world is filled. It is the feeling to have done all that which ought to be done, to have seen all that which had to be seen, to have endured all that which had to be endured, to have fulfilled all that which had to be fulfilled. From this moment onward, we hopefully came out of this jail that the world is, even more hellish as formerly believed, as we never were aware of it, being completely immersed into it. As we undertook a training to give up all these things during all the time that was required for it, we are today fit to put an end to all this Calvary. We occupy a small cell, cave or hut, and we do not come out of it. We do not go out of it, but we are totally free, as we are no longer moved by the desire to proceed any further. We do no more have anything to cross, while previously, we ceaselessly roamed from one house to the next, a city to the next, a continent to the next. Nevertheless, we were not free. Wherever we went, we were constantly entangled into mental defilement, under their most unrefined shapes. We experience a gentle feeling of relief. No more hassles, no more debts, no more uncomfortable situations, no further expectations, no more possessions to be maintained and tightly watched, no more losses, no more projects, no more ideas, no more beliefs, no more religions, no more principles, no more binding customs, no more quarrels, no more reproaches, no more remorse, no more shame. Nothing that could torment us does remain whatsoever. We only remain pure, honest, clear, present. We are blameless because we behave in a fair way, which is impeccable. Each of our actions is devoid of greed, greediness, hatred or pride. We do not need anything. We no longer need all these useless pleasures, only meant for making us more attached to this world of suffering. We merely stick to that which is fair. The balance is perfectly well balanced. We do no longer run after things. Those latter instead come to us. Everything revolves around us, in the most natural way that could be. We even have no effort to produce to adapt to that which surrounds us. Because we stick to that which is fair, the elements surrounding us, on their own, adapt themselves to us. We are similar to the fish that, without trying to grasp anything whatsoever, allows itself to completely slide with the river's current, until it reaches the delta. We release our grip on the world's excitement. We do not need to earn any cent. We do not need to spend any even. Our spirit is freed from all hindrances. We do not lack anything. Whatever the way will be, all our needs are automatically fulfilled, at the right time, and not otherwise. There is no effort to be done, otherwise the least one. Even this small effort gradually becomes natural. This small effort is different from the one that consists in turning our attention to the things being perceived. We only remain heedful to all that which appears to consciousness, so as to provide the mind with the skills to know reality as it is, the way it is being perceived, to look at its opposite, directly. Therefore we are no longer beguiled by illusions, we are no longer plagued by doubts, we do no longer fall under the clutches of ignorance. From this moment onward, we know that the fact to be allowed to cultivate carelessness sharply calls for more efforts than the ones involved by lying and watching mindlessly a show while sampling sweets. We understand that a right effort is not a big effort, but a very small one indeed, fairly balanced, where and when it is advisable to apply it. By remaining as such, on the moderate path, whatever the actions that others may perform might be, nobody can be more beneficial to living beings. There is no better and more honorable existence. We are the living and perfect example of the good way to be followed, the right way. Our actions are healthy and our advices are naturally wise. Only those who follow this way, the moderate path, are able to correctly guide others on the path of non-attachment. The non-attachment towards things, sensations, persons, desires, expectations, necessities, concerns, projects and all that which is likely to generate dissatisfaction. As we got rid of all the misery of the world, nothing does remain whatsoever. Only the present moment does remain. We completely entered the world of reality. The only thing that remains to be done is the noblest and wisest one. To remain in the contemplation of perceptions. One does no longer give any chances to impurities to come up to the surface, nor does boredom any longer take part into the process. Whatever the situation will be, does ever prevail the full presence of a heedful and aware mind. Every perception is known for what it really is, devoid of any conception, comments and emotion. We no longer suffer because we are no longer attached to these perceptions, given that we simply observe them, as they are. We finally know them. So, we are no longer attached to sight perceptions. We are no longer attached to auditory perceptions. We are no longer attached to tactile perceptions. We are no longer attached to taste perceptions. We are no longer attached to olfactory perceptions. We are no longer attached to mental perceptions. Pursuant to a virtuous conduct, we are released on bail, being set free because we are no longer indulging in worldly things along with their terrible and vicious endless entanglements. Conditional clause because we are still equipped with this heavy burden that the body is along with its material and mental senses that unceasingly remain subject to alterations, inconveniences and which are totally uncontrollable. The only thing likely to be controlled being the way to deal with these senses. By this way, we shall irreversibly reach the total and definitive liberation from all the world's misfortunes.